Hello everybody and welcome to the Kube Vanguard. As I promised a week ago, I would start filming every single week like I used to for a number of reasons. One, because it's fun. Two, it's good practice. And three, it keeps me from being lazy. So today's show is going to be really interesting. An announcement first, well, a couple things first, and then I'm going to go into the gist of what I want to talk about. So first of all, I said there would be exciting news last week, right? The day after I filmed, which was Sunday, and Monday the exciting news came out. Okay, and I'll give you a guess what that might have been. Let me just take a look at my, swag is kind of tells a story, right? So, see that? Yes, Object First. I've joined Object First, and immediately they sent me swag. I mean, literally, it was 4 days it got here through customs and everything. So there's the shirt. It's white too, isn't that great? So I'll have to be very disciplined when I go to the buffet. It won't be the old bah. And look at this. You turn around and it says something about ask me about storage. So there you go. So yeah, Object First. And you said, why Object First? Well, Object First is a fantastically interesting company, okay? And it's object storage specifically built for Veeam, okay? Basically, you get it, you plug it in, 15 minutes later, it's working and completely secure, okay? So it's fascinating. That's why I joined. And you said, Jeff, what about Kubernetes? Don't worry, Kubernetes is not going anywhere, okay? Kubernetes is not going anywhere. But I also love backup. I love backing up VMs, and I love data protection. I love helping protect customers and save them from the bad people, right? Because there are a lot of bad people out there trying to get your data, ransomware you, and whatnot. So that was the big news, and we got a bunch of swag. So I got this nice white shirt. Gave me a really cool black jacket too, with Object First on it. I've got that downstairs. And a really nice original, which I didn't decide to wear because I decided to wear this really nice white one. People, say, hey, he does wear clean clothes. But look at this. Look at this. It's purple. That is, purple is the color of imperials. The Roman emperors wore purple, right? So yeah. Excellent. So that was the swag. Yeah, a lot of fun. What are you doing there, Jeff? Like the janitor or something? No, I'm community manager. Okay, that's another reason why I jumped, because I love community. I love shows. I love talking. I think you know that. And here I'm going to be a community manager. Now I'm only managing myself, but that doesn't matter, right? It'll grow over time. If I can manage myself, that's already a good thing. All right, so that was the big exciting news. Let's go to what we're going to do this week. It's also going to be a lot of fun. What are we going to do this week? VLC. No, we're not doing VLC this week. I put the wrong screen up. No big deal. We're going to talk about Kubernetes. No surprise. First of all, news. So today they had the local neighborhood first Santa Claus parade in 4 years, because during the lockdown in Canada, things like parades, sports events, and all that was off. And then last year they just couldn't get it organized, whatever. So this year, the first time in 4 years. So I went. My kids are older now, so one went, but I had the old dilemma that all parents have. These parades, they throw out candy. And, it's for the kids, but there's a lot of it, right? And some of it goes to waste, right? And also, the kids, the teeth, the whole issue. So, inevitably you stand there and you kind of like shyly look and, put your hand out and old person, get away. Hey, it didn't happen today. I did the old pretend I'm not interested in the candy. And then they come up, would you like a candy? Oh, well, of course, it'll make you happy. So I got a bunch of candy too. It's really good. Anyways, let's talk about Kubernetes. That's what we're here for. So what am I talking about? Well, as you know, my CKA I did 3 years ago, so I have to do it again. It's always fun to have to redo exams. As you know, it's something to look forward in life. But so I got to redo it, and I led a study group on Code Cloud, which was a lot of fun. And now I'm starting to really get down to a lot of studying off and on, but hopefully every day. And a couple things I do. So one is I'm doing this excellent Code Cloud CKA mock exam series. There are 10 mock exams. So I went over the course again. A lot of the things in the course, obviously, I knew already. Although it was good, there's some new areas. How much they'll be in the exam or not, I don't know. But I kind of briefly went over the course and renewed my knowledge, or if there are areas I hadn't worked in, I might have forgotten. But then what I'm doing now is taking these CKA mock exams. There's 10 of them, okay? And I'm doing them over and over again. They're 20 questions each, and they take a long time. And they're very, very good. So my plan basically is to do these over and over again, and then I will attempt the exam, which comes up soon. So that's what I'm doing. Now, the other thing you can do, apart from reading documentation, which I really recommend, especially the areas that might have changed, all right, is also at Code Cloud, you can do the Code Cloud Engineer. And basically, the Code Cloud engineer, you work at a pretend company, you're an engineer, and you get these assignments, right? Things go wrong and are broken, but unlike real life where you're stressing out and wondering if you get fired, here it's all fun. So no stress environment, and I really enjoy it. Now I've just started this, and what they allow you now, if you have a subscription, there's actually a free version too. So you can do the free version. The free version is excellent as well, but it makes you go through every area. I think at least that's the way it used to be. So you do things like Puppet, Ansible, which is good too, Linux, basic Linux, and you rise up the ranks. With my subscription, I can actually pick, especially before an exam, areas. So we'll take a look. Here is the Kubernetes section. As you can see, I've done 2 already. I'm not, taking my time. And some of it's very simple, some of it's more difficult, but let's do one together to show you how it works. So you press the start button, and basically what it's going to do is going to load one of these labs. And this is one of the excellent features about Code Cloud. They have these labs, which you can leverage as playgrounds, and go around, and it really emulates real production. That's what I love about it. You get the real deal, but it's not the real deal. So you don't have any fear of messing up, whatever. Excellent for practicing, okay? So the lab comes up relatively quickly, as you can see. And on the left, you have the question. It's going to give me 60 minutes to create, look at this, a namespace and a pod. So let's do this together for fun. So I always read the question, and I highly recommend not to speed read during exams, because I've taken a lot of exams in my life, and there are these really mean people who are out to get the speed readers. And what they do is they'll put a long sentence full of baloney, and then in the middle there'll be not, the word not, right? So you'll be, I got it, boom, do it. But you forgot to read slowly and you missed the not word. So it's going to be the opposite. You get that answer wrong. So we will read the question. The Nautilus DevOps team, that's our pretend company here, is planning to deploy some microservices on Kubernetes platform. The team has already set up a Kubernetes cluster, thank goodness, and now they want to set up some namespaces, deployments, etc., based on the current requirements. The team has shared some details below. Okay, so first of all, create a namespace named dev. So let's try that. I'm assuming that the aliases are set up, and aliases, as you know, are, instead of typing kubectl, you can type K. Let's just see. We'll type K and see what happens. Yes, excellent. Let's clear that. So that saves you, clear doesn't exist in here. That's hilarious. That saves you a lot of time. Normally you can clear the screen, but I don't know. During an exam, instead of typing kubectl all the time, you type K. So let's do this. K, create, ns, again, type create properly. NS for namespace. You don't want to type out namespace. You don't want to type the stuff out. I mean, unless you, did a typing course and can type enormous speeds with no errors, which is not me. Okay, so it's called dev. It's very simple. So there we go. K create ns dev. So we're K create namespace dev. And now it's saying it's not just that. Okay, create a pod under it. The name of the pod is dev nginx pod. So let's do that. So K. Now, when you create a pod, you can just use run. Okay, so K run. I don't want to type this out. I'm inherently lazy. I'm just going to try to see if I can copy it. During the exam, too, you're able to copy a lot. Try to copy as much as possible. It avoids the typos. You don't want to fail an exam because you made a bunch of typos. Okay, so we're going to use the nginx image. So we're going to do image equals nginx. And remember, they want it with latest tag only. So they give you an example there. So nginx latest. And I believe they said put it in the namespace dev. So let's do ndev. Again, shortened form ndev. Okay, let's try that and see what happens. Let's create it. So now let's do k get pods. Remember ndev, and it's creating. That's important because during an exam you'll be under pressure, and if you're creating stuff inside of a namespace and then you want to check to move on to the next question and you forget some namespace, you k get pods. Oh my goodness, there's none there. What happened? So like if I do k get po, there's none there. But remember, it's in the n namespace, i.e. dev namespace. And there it is. It's running. Wow, look at that. Very simple, easy question. But it's good. This also looks similar to me like the exam. Okay, now mind you, haven't done the exam in 3 years, but I've done some other exams from Linux Foundation, and most of them were performance-based, which means you get a terminal and go ahead and do it. So this is very similar. You'll have on the left-hand side instructions, and you'll have things that you can copy and paste. Highly recommend doing that. And then at some point you move on. Now in this scenario, we don't move on, we just check, okay? Now if you get a really difficult one, you get annoyed or your cat or dog bugs you, you can press try later and you'll come back to it, okay? But let's check. I think I've done everything correctly. So first of all, let's just double check. So K, get, NS for namespaces. Okay, there's a bunch of them. There's the default ones that come with Kubernetes. Okay, but in there you can see there's a dev one which was created 2 minutes and 13 seconds ago. So that must have been me. And let's see if we got a pod in there. So okay, get n dev. And there it is, happily running. 91 seconds old, so time-wise, that's pretty similar. Let's check and see if we got the points. Now, every time you complete these things, you get points. Okay, and there's a whole hierarchy, and there's even a page where they show, and you put your picture there and show your boss and get a big raise at the end of the year. Okay, are you finished? Going to confirm, press yes. It kind of reminds you of an exam when it comes up. Said, are you certain you want to do this? Complete. Okay, complete. Congratulations. There's your results. It saved the results even. Wow, isn't that interesting? They've really developed this. So that might have been an easy task for you. But don't worry. That's always nice to know. They'll give you harder ones later. Depending on tasks you complete, you'll get more difficult and advanced tasks assigned in the future. Okay, so you do the easy ones, and it's got, I don't think it's artificial intelligence, but it's kind of watching, right? So you can tell you've done an easy task. Next time you'll get a tougher one. And it's fun, okay? It's fun. There's no disaster if you make a mistake. You can go back and do it again. Alrighty, so Code Cloud, again, the mock exams, which are excellent, and those also are similar in the sense of exams that they give you different questions. So if I take mock exam 1 and I retake it, they're all different questions. So it's kind of like a real exam situation. Like you're not going to get the exact same question, so that's nice. And remember, what you're allowed to do during the exam as well, which I always do, even when I'm practicing, even when I'm just playing in the Code Cloud engineer area, I open up the Kubernetes documentation and I use exclusively this if I get stuck. I don't get tempted to jump to Google or any search engine because you will not have that during the exam. So what you want to do is every time you go at the Code Cloud engineer tasks or the mock exams or anything like that, you force yourself to stick to the Kubernetes documentation, Kubernetes command line, so you can do explain command, whatnot, because those will be the assets will be available to you during the exam. The more you get used to only having those assets, the more likely you'll be able to get out of a problem if you're stuck during the exam. Okay, there'll be no Google during the exam. There'll be no point in having an exam. All right, that's it for this week. Thank you very much. Again, big, great news. I'm going to become an object storage specialist on top of Kubernetes, which is good because object storage and Kubernetes. Anyways, enough said for this week. We'll come back next week with something else, and maybe I'll even tell you when I'm going to schedule an exam, or maybe I won't. I'll do the exam first because if I fail, I don't look silly. No, never fear. Remember, Kubernetes exam and most of the CNCF, I think all the CNCF exams give you 2 tries. So when you pay all that money, you're getting 2 tries. So it's not that bad. In fact, I think Red Hat's doing that too. I hope that all exam would be that way, but you never know. All right, we'll see you next week on the Cube Vanguard. Thank you very much for tuning in.